If you want to learn a few ways to get more child support, then stay with me. I'm Damon Moore. I'm an attorney, a mediator. I'm licensed to practice law in several states. In this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the things that you need to know to help you get more child support for your child. I think the best way to break this down is to look at it as you having two options, the easy road and the hard road. Believe it or not, the easy road is to ask the other party to pay more money. What parents who pay child support want to know more than anything else is that the money they give is being spent on the child. You can take advantage of that. Tell the other parent how much it costs for food, clothing, daycare, extracurriculars, camps, etc. Show receipts, show flyers, show brochures. Be transparent if you're genuinely seeking money for the child. Now, I recognize that with some people, you'll tell them the price of those things and they'll say, the child doesn't need all that stuff. That's okay. Your role is to be transparent. If the other party's not willing to agree, then that just means you'll not be able to take the easy road and you'll have to take the hard road. The hard road is to use the courts to force the mother or father to pay more. And if you're going to go that route, then I think there are four things that you should consider. First, know the law. A lot of you are walking into court without knowing the law first, but it does not have to be that way. You can go to the library or get on the internet. You can look up state laws that govern child support in your case. You can do any host of things to know the law. By knowing the law, you empower yourself and you protect yourself from people who are trying to take advantage of you. Also, it's hard to negotiate with the other party when you don't know what would happen if you go to court. And you should not assume that because you know someone who lives in another state and pays a certain amount of child support, that you will have to pay or receive that same amount of child support. Each state has a method in place for calculating child support obligations, and the methods vary. For example, in some states, the income of one parent is taken into account. But in other states, the income of both parents is taken into account. There's a study out right now that shows the state-by-state child support results of a household with two children, a dad who makes $55,000 a year, a mother who makes $45,000 a year, and a possession schedule that's something less than 50-50. In one state, following the state's guidelines under that set of circumstances would lead to the father paying $402 a month in child support. In another state, following that state's guidelines would lead the father to paying over $1,100 per month in child support. When the outcomes vary by that great of an amount, it's critical that you understand what the laws in your state are. Another way to get more child support is to have possession of the child more than you're supposed to have the child. Now, here's an important point. I'm not saying that you should keep the child away from the other parent. What I'm saying is that if the other parent is not taking possession of the child as often as he or she is supposed to take possession of the child, then you need to say that to a judge and be prepared to prove it. That way, the judge can consider that fact when determining what the child support should be. A great way to get your child support increase is to have possession of the child for a greater period of time than the amount of time that you would have the child under the standard possession schedule. In many states, the rationale for ordering child support is that one of the parents is having possession of the child for a greater period of time and is taking on a greater financial burden because of it. So, if you can manage to have possession of the child for even more time than what is in the standard possession schedule, or what is in whatever possession schedule you have, then you can argue that additional support is necessary. Another way to get more child support is to prove that the other parent is making more money than that parent made when the original order was signed by the judge. If you already have a child support order in place, but the other party makes more money than he or she made at the time the order was put in place, then you may be eligible to have your child support increased. Another way to get more child support is to hire an attorney. The Office of Attorney General is not your attorney. In most cases, the only reason the Attorney General is involved in the case is because the state is concerned about who's going to provide health insurance for the child. So if you happen to be involved in a case where the Attorney General is a factor, then you want to be aware of that. If you have your own attorney, that attorney is going to be very helpful in doing three things. Your attorney should be able to help you understand what the law is and how it will apply to your case. Your attorney is likely to be able to help you calculate what the child support should be under the child support guidelines and whether there are any factors that would help you get more than you would receive if the judge were to merely follow the guidelines. If a contested hearing is necessary, then your attorney is likely to be able to help you submit evidence that you would need to submit in order to get the judge to treat your case in a way that's different from the way the guidelines say the judge should treat that case. And this is really important in two situations. Let's say you're in a state that considers the income of both parties when calculating child support. In those states, you're going to want to obtain the other party's income. But if the other person doesn't want you to provide that income, then your lawyer is going to be much more experienced in using things such as subpoenas and discovery powers to obtain that information. The other situation is when you need to prove that you've been spending a certain amount of time with the child and you need to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf or provide phone records. There's actually a fourth thing that lawyers are really good at helping you do. And this thing is so important to a certain group of you that I might just make a standalone video about this. Some lawyers are really good at helping you when the other parent owns a business and is funneling money to himself or herself in a way that enables that person to hide income. So those are some ways to get your child support increased. But I want you to know that those are not the only ways to get your child support increased. Press the like button and the subscribe button if you want more videos about child support. I look forward to sharing more information with you soon.